So two failed attempts to get up to the transition, couldn't get even close to it. That's a sign of weakness. Two failed attempts to get above the pre-pro, that's weakness. So we've got already the steps in play for maybe a short trade. Now we just look to see whether or not the market can align with our playing fields and other transitions. So I'll get rid of this big view. So is it a theme that's worth paying attention to? We have bounced once, twice, now third time off the CME VWAP lower deviation. You might be able to see that. So I'll do the same exercise I did the other day, see if we can build up our multiple points of evidence. So I got 3 points of evidence suggesting the short side. Got another one, trading below close of CME VWAP prior session close, which I'm marking. So you can probably see a couple of failed attempts here to get above that, just in here. Okay, we're into our short inventory I was looking at. I'll bring it into view. Okay, see prices here. So if we get the other side of this, that big chunk's on side. That's our next point of evidence. We're up to 5, 65.15 on side. Sellers offering the market lower, 6. See that there? I've just joined that in. So here's some failures. There's sellers offering the market lower. There's your 6th piece of evidence. 7 is down. 8. What do we got? I mentioned the bidding up at the second deviation below CME VWAP, which I've just marked in. I'll make it orange. Oh, we're below session VWAP. There's your 8. Now we're below the anchor. I'll look to add. There's 9 points of evidence. Where should I be taking some money out? Front run this transition? What do you think? That would make sense given that's been anchoring to the upside and it's the pre-pro low. I'm going to risk giving back some because I've got so many points of evidence to the downside. I would be crazy to let 1 point of evidence take me totally out of the trade, right? Reaction expected at this area. Right, here we go. I took some. Next transition, try and take some here. Was I aggressive in this trade? You bet. Why? Because I had 9 points of evidence. It's all about the evidence. Stack them and you get conviction. Where's expansion? I need to think about that, don't I? Probably about expansion there. A little bit late on factoring in expansion. Luckily, the market is not spanking me for it. I'll see if I can get the hell out. And now I'll just leave a runner, but I'm predominantly flat. So that's expansion. That should make sense. And look at the reaction at expansion. So if you didn't take profits, clearly the market's showing you that right now expansion is leading to a reaction. And what do we often see at expansion? We often see a more brutal reversion than what we're seeing now. So can we test that? So am I seeing actual buyers coming in, like some sort of reversion model lifting the market? I can see the price on the chart, just remove my points of evidence, but I'm not seeing that reflected here. It's a little bit, but there's no serious size there. So I'm not getting completely flat. In other words, I'm leaving my runner and I'll be looking for what? What's the next step? I want to see sellers offering the market lower below the transition before I then build on the current trade. All right, is this our sellers offering the market lower? Maybe. Let's see here if we get something to suggest sellers are offering the market lower. I haven't seen it yet. I've still got my runner. I haven't taken it off. At this point, I'm looking to see for offering down to be able to build back into the trade. And every moment that sits there and doesn't do anything, that's when I can quickly look at other stuff. Anything I'm missing? Is there anything at all? Have I missed something somewhere? So we're getting some failures around this area. You know where else we stopped? If you look at the inventory view, it's just there's a bunch of buyers. Only a tiny group, but that's where we've run into. So therefore, if they move offside, so they're at 65.04, they move offside, there's potentially fuel for continued movement further down. So the longs are off, so it's looking at trying to enter into here. Right, so I've got my edge that I'm working. So ideally I want to work an order near the edge. So those buyers can't go offside and this edge is given up. So there's no more short trading, I've got to get flat. So now wait to see for the market to develop something new. The important thing here about this level is that I know there's buyers there because I can see it in the inventory. Oh, aren't we at expansion? Don't we get this complex stuff at expansion? Yeah, we do. All right, so that's it for that first leg. So now it's just waiting to see, like I can treat it almost like a new trade, although it's really a continuation of the same thing. Just waiting to see whether or not we get another go at it and try and find the makings of the next trade and try and do exactly the same thing, just evidence, evidence, evidence that aligns with our playing fields. So we're still within one of the playing fields. So it's still opportunity to trade the short side within here, but we're clearly not at a point where we want to enter short right now. So that one crept up a little bit too quickly on me before I could walk you through it. But see these failures here. What got me back short was not just the failures, but my little audio alert came through and said, Singapore opening. And I went, bang, I can see movement that relates to that. That's covering moved into a change of session, catalyst, etc., back in. The evidence there was movement based on the pending session open. And we know from experience that Singapore, the open into Singapore, is actually quite a dramatic move. It's not something that historically has always been the case, but certainly is a regular theme now. Now, I took most off into the lows because, well, that was the turning point where those buyers act as a wall of defense. So I'm not going to assume that that wall is going to get beaten down, but I'm leaving a runner just in case. We get through, I might be able to add. Hard to tell. I don't think we're there yet. No, we're not. It's held, hasn't it? They went offside by like 2 basis points and they've held. We moved down to expansion. I've still got my runner because it's on side because I've gone short from up here. That seller's offering the market lower, by the way, if you have a look. Here's the offering above the transition. Now it's virtually just below it. It's certainly lower than the one before. And also, what's another piece of evidence here? Sellers offering the market multiple failures below the pre-pro low. That's a key for short trading. So to enter short there was the covering into the session, multiple failures to get below the pre-pro low, above it. Sellers offering the market lower. Working off the outer deviation, failures that align with the outer deviation. That's another piece of evidence. So I don't have 9, do I? I've got like 5. So naturally, I'm not hitting this as hard as what I did the first one. It's actually about 6, I think, 6 points of evidence there. And that's how quickly you have to be able to put them together. You can't do it retrospectively. That's another short. It is obviously getting into the tail end, but it's fine if you work the edges. You don't want to be entering at the deviation because clearly you can see that certainly since the run into Singapore, there's interest around that deviation. So I'm working an order at 98.5, a limit to get flat. It's obviously some resistance to go through 65 even, isn't there? I'm not seeing anyone bidding up at 65 cents though, so I've stuck with my order. Right, so that deal's done, finished. We've got really close to that transition and a few failures, and it's like, it's that risk to reward I talk about. As you get closer to where you no longer want to be long or short, your open equity is what you're risking versus what? A basis point. So you're best off just getting out. But the market shows you, look at all the failures. And again, see how re-entering was just the same trade. It's just managing it along the way. That's the type of trading that is right in our wheelhouse. And it utilised playbook trades, transitions, and then, of course, multiple points of evidence. That's it.